Hey there guys, Conceptual Concept 6.9 here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and we did a poll recently on what my next project should be. There were 3 different guns I was interested into. The IWI X95 Tavor was one of them, just because I haven't played with bullpups a lot, and I thought it would be an interesting one to play around with. There was the BRN4 upper, basically the HK416 clone. It's had mixed reviews, but the only bad parts I've heard about it is the fit and finish. So everything else has said it runs really, really well. And lastly, the winner of the poll, at the time I decided to go ahead and invest, was the CZ Bren 2 in 7.62x39. As of right now, I think the BRN4 has the headway, it's winning, but at the time I jumped on this, it was top on the poll. So you'll notice this isn't a stock CZ Bren 2 at all. I went ahead and made some changes immediately. One, I knew I was going to hate the handguard, so I got rid of it for an HB Industries handguard. By the way, CZ, if you're listening to this, which I'm sure you aren't, but if you are, please calm down on the Loctite on these handguards. It was a monster to get off. So got that off, put the HB Industries handguard on here, and then I went ahead and put the HB Industries gas plug in as well, because one thing, the number one hesitance I had in getting this was the overgassing issue. Now, Military Arms Channel, I'll go ahead and put a card up here somewhere for his video on it, but he tried to recreate some of the issues people were having. They were having a lot of stovepiping issues and overgassing issues, which is a problem. So everything I had read is the HB Industries is a pretty solid fix. This gas plug is, I believe, 90 to 100 bucks. So I just went ahead and invested in it right off to make sure this thing has the best chance for success possible. Lastly, I did go ahead and do a 1913 brace adapter so I can actually shoot this thing. And I want to be able to fold it because I really like the folding feature. A lot of the times I'm packing a lot into my vehicle and I want to make my guns as small as possible. So having that folding feature was a must for me. Now I did throw on my can here, and I really, really like the Dead Air Sandman K, and it's not because it sounds the best. I just like, usually it will suppress the flash and it'll take a little bit of the bite out. And so I was gonna run my Sandman S, but I have a 5.56 flash hider end cap on it, and it is carbon locked, so that's not coming off. So K it is. I was actually pretty pleasantly surprised at how well the Sandman K did on flash reduction at night, so we'll go ahead and insert a video of the Sandman K with supersonics out of this 9-inch. Let's go over the features of the rifle. So this is in God's caliber, 7.62x39. Now a lot of people will disagree with that. That's fine. It's just my favorite cartridge. You have yours, rock on. But it does take proprietary magazines. These magazines are actually really cool. They are a full curve. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll try and get some B-roll. It is a full curve all the way up. So it's like an AK mag. So it's not making that sacrifice that AR 7.62x39 mags do, which is forcing the rounds to go straight and then curve out, turns into an L-shaped magazine. This is a true full curve, which gives you the best chances of reliability. They just overbuild the polymer on both sides to give you a flat face to insert in, which I think is brilliant. Now let's get into the magwell. The magwell is really interesting, and I'll try and provide some B-roll here of my 5.56 version because the lowers are the same, but the 5.56 version actually gets a really cool sleeve that fits inside of here that fits AR-15 magazines. So this magwell is larger than an AR-15 magwell. That's to accommodate this larger mag, which it needs to be to have that full curve. Really neat feature there. I really, really like that. Now, past that, it does operate off of a AR-18 style gas system. So it is a short stroke gas piston, adjustable gas system as well, which is really nice. And because it does not need a buffer, you can fold it. Makes it really handy. So the controls are very simple and easy to operate. It is very Scar-esque. This had the non-reciprocating charging handle before it was cool. So the FN Scar has finally caught up with this, but it took them forever. So non-reciprocating charging handle, it is a little high. So with EOTechs, I find myself knocking my knuckles quite a bit. And it has AR-15 controls ambidextrous magazine release, so you got it right here and you got it right here. And past that, you have a paddle style bolt hold open and release, very reminiscent of the AR-15. So pretty neat there. And inside of the trigger guard here, which I'm not a huge fan of, I'm gonna go ahead and empty the magazine and make sure it's empty. But it has a bolt hold open inside of the trigger guard and a bolt release inside of the trigger guard. Again, I'm not a huge fan of that, and I know they make aftermarket parts that extend it to kind of give you the same ergonomic as a bad lever, and that's personally what I would probably recommend you do. But this one does not have that in, so I tend to just run my CZ Brens like an AR-15. I use the paddle, just my preference. But that's the general gist of the features. This does have a 9-inch cold hammer forged barrel. So the 5.56 version of this in the shortest barrel configuration has an 8-inch barrel. I believe that that is because it needs a little more dwell time with the 7.62 by 39 because it's a lower pressure round. So this does have a 9-inch barrel. If you don't know, this is fielded by the French GIGN. They just wanted something that hit a little harder than their 5.56 rifles, and they wanted to keep it short. So they specifically went with the 9-inch variant, which I think is pretty neat. Overall, this thing seems to handle itself pretty well. Let's do some shooting. To a bill drill. .182. One more. All right, so we're gonna be shooting a Mozambique on that one, two to the chest, one to the head. Then we're gonna hit the steel at about 40 yards after. So we put about 100 rounds through this today. It's proved to be a pretty decently accurate rifle. It is printing about what my friend's MCX and 7.62 by 39 does. When I zeroed it, it was showing pretty decent accuracy. So accuracy so far is good. I'll group it on the next review just to give you an idea. And if there are any malfunctions, we'll talk about it. But so far, 100 rounds in, we're looking pretty solid. So stay tuned for the next video on this. It'll probably be a month or two. I'm going to try and do 1,000 rounds through this just to see how it holds up. So stay tuned, guys. I'll talk to you later.